Welcome to Meaningfulness, Engineering Purpose in a Complex World podcast series. I'm Djeff B., Principal Architect at Meaningfulness Media Group, where we build rigorous frameworks to uncover objective meaning through authentic connection, ethical systems thinking, and responsible stewardship in an age of AI and informational chaos. If you're seeking evidence-based insights on philosophy, psychology, and human flourishing, you're in the right place. Let's begin.
You've probably heard the word meta thrown around a lot lately, right? But what does it actually mean? Well, today we're going to unpack this surprisingly powerful idea and show you how it shapes, pretty much everything, from your own thoughts to the future of technology. So let's just start with a little bit of a puzzle. What in the world connects a wisecracking superhero like Deadpool, the data behind a photo on your phone, and the very way you think about your own thoughts? I know, it sounds like a super random collection of things, but the answer is actually a single, really powerful word. And that word is meta. It all goes back to the Greek meta, which means beyond or about itself. At its heart, meta is all about taking a step back, looking at something from a higher level. It's a concept about a concept. And trust me, once you start seeing it, you are going to see it everywhere. All right, so let's start with the most personal place this whole idea lives, right inside your own head. Meta is absolutely fundamental to how we learn, how we feel, and how we understand ourselves. So our inner world actually has all these meta layers. It's not just about thinking, it's about thinking about how you think. That's metacognition. Or think about meta-memory. That's knowing your own memory's limits, like when you know for a fact you're terrible with names. And then there's meta-emotion, which we've all felt. It's when you have feelings about your feelings, like getting angry at yourself for being sad. Each one of these is a layer of self-awareness, a way of observing our own mental machinery in action. And this is how you can actually put that idea to work. To get better at learning anything, you can follow these 3 basic steps. First, you plan your attack. How are you going to tackle this? Then, while you're in the middle of it, you monitor yourself. Are you actually getting it? And finally, you look back and evaluate. Did that way of studying actually work for me? This isn't just learning, it's learning how to learn. Okay, so we've looked inside our own minds. Now let's shift gears and see how this same idea builds out into the things we create. From the digital world to the stories we tell, the meta concept is a crucial building block. This is probably the perfect example. Think about any photo on your phone. The data is the picture itself, right? The actual pixels. But the metadata, that's all the info about the photo. When you took it, your GPS location, the camera settings you used. Without metadata, your phone would just be this giant, messy shoebox of pictures. Metadata is what gives all that data context and structure. And in computer science, this meta layer is a total game changer. Metaprogramming? Think of it like a coder building a little robot that writes all the boring, repetitive code for them. Metamodeling is kind of like creating a blueprint for how to make other blueprints. It keeps huge, complex systems consistent. And a meta search engine is exactly what it sounds like. It's a search engine for search engines. It just asks Google and Bing what they found and shows you everything. It's a higher level view. But it's not just in tech. In the world of art, you've got metafiction. This is where a story knows it's a story. Let's go back to Deadpool. When he turns to the camera and talks right to us, or makes fun of superhero movie cliches, that's what he's doing. He's a character who is commenting on the fact that he is a character. It's the story being about itself. So we've seen meta in our minds and in the things we make. Now let's zoom out even further and look at how this once academic idea has just completely soaked into our modern culture. It really is everywhere. You see it in pop culture, with meta jokes that are funny because they're making fun of how jokes work. You see it in political discourse, with meta commentary, where the debate isn't about the issue, but about how the media is covering the issue. And of course, it's just part of how we talk now. How many times have you heard someone say, "Whoa, that's so meta"? It's become the go-to phrase for when we notice something being self-referential. But, and this is a pretty big but, going meta isn't always a good thing. Like any powerful idea, it can be misused or just taken way too far. It's really important to look at the other side of the coin here and understand some of the risks. And here are the big ones. Going too meta can sometimes just make things way too complicated, turning a simple story into a confusing mess. It can also lead to this kind of analysis paralysis, where you spend so much time analyzing how to have a conversation that you never actually have the conversation. And then there's the biggest danger. It can lead to relativism, this idea that there's no real objective truth, just endless layers of commentary about commentary. But even with those risks, the ability to think this way is becoming more and more vital. So let's look ahead for a minute and see where this whole concept is taking us. This is where it gets really, really cool. In the world of AI, meta-learning is like the next frontier. Imagine an AI that doesn't just learn how to do a task, but learns the best way to learn that task. It's basically an AI that can teach itself to be a better student, tweaking its own programming to learn faster and more efficiently next time. This could totally revolutionize what artificial intelligence is capable of. And that really brings us to the main takeaway here. In a world that's getting more complex and interconnected every single day, the ability to step back, to see the bigger picture, to question the basic assumptions, in other words, to think meta, that's not just some nerdy academic exercise anymore. It's an absolutely essential skill for navigating the future. So the next time you stop to think about your own learning process, or you analyze how a movie is telling its story, or you question the whole framework of a debate you're watching, you're using this incredible tool. The only question is, now that you can see it, where are you going to apply meta-thinking in your own life?
That's all for this episode. Thank you for joining me on this exploration. If these ideas resonate, continue your journey toward objective meaning and authentic connection at meaningfulness.com.au, where you'll find materials and resources to engineer purpose in your life. Until next time, let's build something meaningful.